Well, you might have noticed if you've opened up a bag of Doritos lately, and I love me some Doritos, whatever kind of fake cheese is in those things, you might have noticed there are fewer Doritos in your bag lately. And that is true because a number of big companies now are putting fewer things inside the bags that you're still paying the same amount of money for, including Lay's, Doritos, hefty bags. Do you order hefty bags to take out the trash in your house in the United States? You're going to pay the same amount. You're just going to get fewer bags.
This is known as shrinkflation, right? So you're used to paying $2.99 for, let's say, 200 squares of toilet paper, but now you're going to pay $2.99 for 150 squares of toilet paper.
Quaker Oats,
yes.
A bunch of cereals. So a lot of, certainly the Quaker Oats brands of cereals. General Mills now charging you the same amount for your box of cereal, but you're going to get way less of it. But by the way, we should talk about cereal for a second. Cereal's awful for your body. It's like one of the worst things you can eat, right?
Yes,
cereal,
this is true.
Cereal,
it spikes your insulin and is full of sugar.
Yeah, it's awful.
And it will make you hungry about 5 minutes later.
Exactly. And if you know anything about like the nutrition lobby in the United States of America, we went from having like eat a farm breakfast in the United States. Like that's what people ate, eggs and healthy foods, right, in the mornings, like a fat or whatever to kickstart their day. Then, of course, General Mills and Kellogg's is the reason that we eat this crap.
They lobbied Congress, especially, yes. Right. And this was post-World War II era where because of all of the shortages of food, people freaked out that there wouldn't be enough and thought, oh, if we just mass produce these cheaply made grains, we're going to be okay and we'll never have to worry about famine again. But the human body is not supposed to eat grains to this extent. And so we really shot ourselves in the foot. But because of the fear and the money inside of lobbyists who wanted to cheaply produce these grains and sell them to you at a wholesale, that's so you do yourself a favor by not buying these boxes of cereal, but at the same time, the other things that you're used to buying will still, unless you're one of those families that does family cloth. Do you know what that is? It means you use reusable toilet paper and you wash it. You are going
That's not going to happen in my house.
You don't know. There might be there may actually come a time when you cannot buy toilet paper. No. You don't know.
I'm telling you what, if there comes a time when I can't buy toilet paper, I'm just going to use the bidet that we have.
Yes.
Like water. I'm not using someone else's toilet paper.
But you use the same cloth for the bidet. That's a reusable.
No.
You clean up and then you sort of tap yourself dry. Okay,
let us know. I use your face cloth.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Idiot.
No, I'm not using someone else's underwear.
No one's asking you to do that. There are people who use family cloth because I cloth diapered my children. So we had a poop sprayer. So you can this is going a little further. I hope you're not currently eating. And I did look into family cloth because I want to do things that are sustainable, but I just can't the idea of washing your baby poop is one thing, but
kicking stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
But by the way, I know we're going to get back to the story here in a second, but just to be clear, in the United States, no one has bidets, right? But they do have, you can get one of those, it's like
sprayers,
$10, on Amazon or wherever. And you attach it very simply to your current toilet, right? It's like a hose. It's like splits it in like a T, and boom, you got a sprayer and it's great. And why wouldn't you? It's ridiculous. Yeah. I can't
Greer
imagine.
Evans says, though, it's very drippy later, and he's right. I don't feel like I have the whole routine of the bidet down pat.
Oh,
yet.
Come on over. I'll show you. I got it down. Pat.
Do you?
I'm a bidet expert.
We had an argument about this because I was sort of looking online for the proper way to use it, if there were tips or something, because it does get kind of drippy. And there are things online that say that you should face the sink rather than sit on it with the tap behind you so that you can see stuff. And Clayton was like, I'm not doing that. I know where my butthole is.
I'm very aware of that. There's things I'm aware of in my life. That's one thing I'm very aware of where that is. I don't need I don't need someone else shining a light down there for me. Anyway, back to the story. But anyway, yeah, you can go and find these sprayers. They're super cheap, and you should have one, even if you don't have like the separate bidet like we have in Europe. It's very great. And then of course in Japan they have the super duper ones. Anyway, so look at these products right now. This is the cost of everything is going up. Again, current bag, previous price or for Doritos 9.75. Now they've taken 5 chips out of the bag. 5 chips. Like someone at Doritos had a meeting. It was like the people that removed the peanuts from the airlines. It was like,
I'm still upset about that.
If we remove these 5 chips, it's going to save us this amount. But guess what, guys? No one at home will know it. They're too stupid to know it, so they're going to still pay the same amount. We're just going to give them fewer chips in the bag.
Originally the airline industry knew that peanuts were a source of fat and would satiate their customers faster than giving them grains, and they thought like it would make for better passenger behavior if they didn't actually give them something that like spikes your insulin and makes you hungry. So they chose peanuts on purpose because of the fat content, but it got too expensive, and and also peanut allergies are a problem.
Well, and also now now they'll give you, now you'll want to buy more stuff.
Yes,
right?
When you are given something that's a carbohydrate that spikes your insulin, you're hungry and you're carb dependent, so they can sell you more things. But the intention was good.
It's like bread at a table at a restaurant. You don't eat too much bread. You're going to fill up on bread before dinner. No, the restaurant wants you to eat the bread.
Yeah.
They want you to eat all the bread because you will eat more if you eat the bread.
Well, it's easy to run an economic model if you're Doritos and just say, well, if we're normally putting 25 chips in a bag, if we put 20, then, this will help our bottom line, so we can easily do that and customers may not notice. I would notice.
Catherine Schindler in our chat says, eat less carbs and veggies and your waist would not, eat less carbs and veggies, your waist would not need TP. I know about that. Anyway, let's go back to this. So you have a mega roll here. Look at that, the difference in size of your toilet paper.
You get 20 sheets less.
Yeah, you get less. You get less toothpaste now from Crest. You get less.
Although
paper
again,
towels.
I'm sorry with the statistics, but did you know that the average person leaves 30% of their toothpaste still in the tube because of the poor design of toothpaste?
Of tubes.
Yeah. So you're getting even less than you normally do.
Gatorade. I don't need to tell you to stop drinking Gatorade anyway. But now here's another reason, like it's less in that sugary whatever concoction that Gatorade is. So you get less, but you're paying the same amount.
Mm-hmm. On the toothpaste, are they doing that? Are they doing that because that's the size you can take on a plane? Like what is the size, the ounces you can take on a plane?
3 ounces.
5, I thought.
No, you can only take 3 ounces on a plane. But I love when they do this, like when these juice companies, they're like, now we've got a special new bottle. That's
grip
like
handle.
It's an easier to grip. Yeah, it's got a grip handle now, like because it's curved like an hourglass figure. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, we took fluid out of here.
Although the one on the left wouldn't fit in your cup holder, so there is an argument to be made for that.
Your Chips Deluxe, your Quaker Oats, your Ziploc bags, your soap, your Wheat Thins. By the way, eating Wheat Thins will not make you thin.
You need to stop lecturing people on what not to buy. We're getting a little pedantic here. Sorry about that. But
that ship has sailed a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so all of these things are going up. And then later today, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking and is going to lay out a number of rate increases for the Federal Reserve. Now, there have been a number of critics that said he should have moved much faster on this, increasing interest rates. Now, this is the 10-year federal benchmark rate. Now, what does that mean? That just means that's the one rate that the Fed controls. Then everything else follows suit, right? Your credit cards, mortgage rates, everything follows what the Fed is going to do today. So if it's not already painful enough out there for you, now interest rates on credit cards are also going to go up. But all of this is meant as a way of stopping this wild inflation that we're seeing, which is about 7%. I like to say double that because they tell us it's 7%. It's probably twice as much as it is right now. The real rate of inflation is much higher than they tell us it is.
Well, right. It's interesting, though, because the government just decided to sign off on increasing the debt ceiling, which means that the United States has borrowed more than they are legally allowed and need to borrow more in order to keep the country running. But they added all kinds of spending projects and pet projects on top of that. So in order for us not to know or think or study the fact that government spending usually does result in inflation, and the government went on a spending spree just yesterday, right? So now the Federal Reserve will step in and say, oh, because of all these other economic forces, we need to increase interest rates. Don't look over there at that government spending. Look over here, and we will, I mean, both things are market perversions, keeping interest rates low when we're not allowing a free market economy to decide interest rates. That's a perversion. Increasing government spending so we can create money for the things that the government values is a perversion. Both things are hurting you.
Well, and that's why I get frustrated when people are like, ripping on capitalism, but that is not what we have. Actual capitalism would work way better, way different. We have crony capitalism, and I've even said it borders on fascism, what we have here.
Right. It's not really, Carol Roth makes the point in the book, that's not capitalism, that's central planning. That's what that is. So, she talks about how, like,
in the book, The War on Small Business.
Yes, the book, The War on Small Business, which is fantastic. And it's a relatively new book within the last maybe 6 months.
We should mention, we interviewed her. We have a special interview that's going to air this weekend with Carol Roth. Be sure to subscribe to the channel.
I've been wondering when that comes out.
Yes, it's going to be airing this weekend here on the channel.
She mentions how, like, even it's cool to get a T-shirt at Target that says, like, I'm anti-capitalist, or I'm, against that kind of thing, like capitalism kills people, or even 17 magazine has these cute little teeny boppers like, we're against capitalism. Really, that's not what you're against. You just don't understand that it's a patriarchy and it's central planning, and you're not studying economy, and you do nobody any favors by wearing these cute T-shirts from Target, right? That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. Good point.
It's not my point, but thank you.
Let us know your thoughts on that. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a membership program. For the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support independent journalism just by going to morninginvest.com/join.
You get access to exclusive videos, plus the ability to join and chat with us live. We really appreciate your subscription, and you are supporting independent journalism.